It's Fig Nukin here. This is my fourth time filming this video because I keep running out of space on my phone and it keeps deleting everything. Oh, that's really annoying. Today we're going to do a vinyl haul of what I've gotten since RSD. This is going to be probably episode 2 since I'm just going to count RSD haul as number 1. We're going to start with 45s. Starting off from the Kinseys, his Christmas single, which has got some two really good hair metal-y kind of Christmas songs. He's a local artist to me, very talented. Definitely highly recommend listening to him if you haven't. He's very helpful. He works at the record store I go to, and he's honestly probably one of the better local artists I have around here, and he's definitely one of the chillest dudes I've ever met. Next up, we got Zutons, You Will, You Won't, and with the B-side of Nightmare Part 1. Two very good songs. Nightmare Part 1 I never heard before that. That was really good. Hard to find some Zuton stuff. Next up, Bananarama, which is my dad actually picked this out. I've never listened to it, and I've yet to listen to it, but I definitely plan to soon. He said it was in Karate Kid or something, and he really liked it. Next up, now to my LPs. Robert Plant, Shaken and Stirred. Very, very good album. It's a little too poppy for me, I think, but still very, very good. Next up, Def Leppard, Pyromania. Very, very good. One of my favorite Def Leppard albums. Great all the way through. Finally found it for a cheap enough price I was willing to spend on it. Since they usually, for some reason around me, they go for like $20. I don't know if it's harder to find around me or something, but yep. Next up, we got Aerosmith Live Bootleg. Very good, great songs. Sadly, it's before Permanent Vacation, so they don't have those songs that I really, really like, but it's still great nonetheless. And then we got Elias Sunhill, an album I've been looking for forever by John Anderson. Great fantasy concept album. Very hard for me to find around my area, but I finally found it, and I found it in amazing condition, which is always awesome. It's like brand new. It was open, but looks like it was never even open. Alan Parsons, The Secret, just came out a couple days ago on the 26th. Great album. It is, honestly, probably so far my favorite album of the year. I'm going to do a review of it soon. I just don't want to rush into a review and get like a honeymoon state like a lot of people do get with albums. But for now, I still think it's great. Next up, Principal Moments by Robert Plant. Great, great album. It's a nice mix of the pop and the rock and the blues. All that kind of stuff. It's great. Honestly, highly suggest listening to it if you haven't. If you have any doubts about Robert Plant solo, listen to that. Or listen to Fate of Nations. I also love that album. Next up, we got Moby Grape. Wow. This album I never even listened to it before, and I saw the cover, and I was like, wow, this is a sick-looking cover. Got that very psych cover of, like, the 60s and 70s. I love it. I went on Spotify, looked up a song, listened to it. There's only, like, 2 songs of this album actually on there. And I really liked it, so I picked it up. And from what I've listened to, I love the album. I can't listen to the one song, The Place and the Time, because it's 78 RPM, and I do not have that on my turntable, which kind of sucks, but hopefully someday I will be able to listen to it. Next up, Fallen Angel by Uriah Heep. It's got a different singer than their original albums, but still very good. I was a little skeptical with it being a new singer, but honestly, I found it. I loved it. I haven't found this at my local record store. I found it about 20 minutes away from me, so that was pretty cool. And I was very happy with it. Next up, The Unforgettable Fire by U2. I love this album. I'm not a very big U2 fan, but this album I do love. I just don't like Bono and the people in U2's personality. They just kind of were... My main gripe is the way they acted towards Phil Collins during the award show. And then we got Hawkwind Sonic Attack. Great album. Not my favorite by Hawkwind, but it's still a great album. It's a little more 80s. I like the more psych psych rock of the 70s when like Lemmy was there and all that kind of stuff. But still great. Next up, we got Bon Jovi. This album was recommended to me by Nathaniel Kinsey, and it was a great album. I really liked it. I was really skeptical of it because Bon Jovi, according to like everybody around me has always said, "Oh man, they're so hit or miss. They're got a couple good songs." But I really honestly liked this album. He said it was his favorite by them. I'm pretty sure, and I loved it personally. I thought it was really great. Next up, we got Now and Zen by Robert Plant. Another really good album. This is more like leaning towards Led Zeppelin-y Robert Plant, I'd say. And it's good. I just don't like it as much as I like Principal Moments, honestly. But still a great album. Then we got Meatloaf. Dead Ringer. My grandpa really likes Meatloaf. I really like Meatloaf. I haven't listened to all this stuff. I never listened to this before. This is not my favorite by him, by any means. But it's still a pretty good album. Next up, Genesis Live. This was actually originally sealed when I got it. Originally sealed from 1973. Crazy enough. There's actually like a line here. I don't think you can see it. It's going to be too weird of lighting. But their plastic was like here, ripped. The rest of it was on. And there's like a little slash there that some records have. I don't know why people do that. But it was really good. I loved it. Peter Gabriel sounded great. Next up, Nectar. Remember the Future. It's got Remember the Future Part 1 and Part 2, which are both great. Nice, funky, psych prog rock that kind of like encompasses all of that and shoves it in one song. And it's really great. Next up, more of an ambient score, the Vietnam War. I got this for $24 because I buy one, get one $50 with the next album. Great if you love Ghost by Nine Inch Nails. I mean, it's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, so you're going to get something you like if you like ambient music. It's very hard to go wrong with them, especially with film scores. Next up, we have Beatles Mono Masters, which is what I bought and got that 50% off with. Very good. Got some great songs. We Can Work It Out, Paperback Writer, Rain, Lady Madonna, The Inner Light, Hey Jude, All Together Now, Hey Bulldog, Get Back, Don't Let Me Down, Across the Universe, I Want to Hold Your Hand, She Loves You. And then they have the German versions of those songs. I Feel Fine, Matchbox, I Call Your Name. I mean, there's just so many good freaking songs on this that if you were to buy, especially all the singles on here, if you buy all the singles, it'd be way more expensive than just getting this. Which I get, there's a point of, hey, get the original singles and stuff like that. But I think that's just more convenient for me, especially because singles kind of get annoying after a while. Then we got the Yes album. One of my favorite Yes albums. Not my favorite. But definitely up there. Starship Trooper, probably my favorite song on here. Really good album. And we got Wet Willie. Dixie Rock, sorry. Jeez, the fourth time is kind of getting to me. But yeah, Dixie Rock by them. Very good. I would say I like Mannerisms better by them because I never listened to this before. I got it. But it wasn't bad. It just wasn't. I don't think it was anywhere compared to Mannerisms, which I think is personally my favorite. Then we got Relayer by Yes. My favorite song is Gates of Delusion or Gates of Delirium? I think, or Before the Gates of Delirium. I don't know. It's the 20 minutes 3 long A side of this album, and I love it personally. One of my favorite Yes songs. This is probably my favorite Yes album, and I think it's really underrated. I feel like a lot of people don't mention this. You know, I think of course 90125 is a great album, but it's definitely different than like this, which is more proggy, psyche kind of album. Next up, Uriah Heep's The Magician's Birthday, kind of like connected to Demon's Wizard, sorry. And I love it because it's that kind of same sound, the fantasy psych sound. I mean, there's nothing like it. Uriah Heep does it in their own way, like how Led Zeppelin did fantasy in their own way. Yes, Yesterdays. Haven't listened to this yet, but really want to listen to it because it kind of got pushed back in my listening catalog when I bought a couple new records for really cheap the one day. So now I got to get to that. Next up, we got almost all Starcastle's releases. They're self-titled, great album. They have a very Yes sound if you haven't listened to them before. Fountains of Life, And as you can see, they got some sick-ass album covers. It was actually by the guy who did Star Wars, the posters for Star Wars, which are really cool. And I'm guessing his price shot up after Star Wars did so well because their last album, I mean, it's a different kind of music, so maybe that's why they did it. But it definitely isn't as cool as the covers for these, which I think are some of the coolest rock covers of all time. But it's still a great album. All these are great albums. Highly recommend Starcastle if you haven't listened to them, because they're kind of more of a... they're not as popular, but they are part of that like Chicago pop prog scene, I guess would be. Like REO Speedwagon, Styx, that kind of grouping of people. And they're really, really good if you haven't listened to them. But I mean, that's all I got for what I've gotten so far since Record Store Day. So I got kind of an update. I'm actually having to move out soonish. I don't know when, but I'm going to try and get some reviews and stuff done beforehand, so I don't have to worry about setting up all my stuff and getting ready by then. If you guys have any suggestions of albums you want me to review, I'll post my Discogs in, and I'll do that. But I think I'm going to review all the Starcastle albums. I'm going to review the new Alan Parsons album. And then after that, it'll just be probably hauls and me doing more reviews of new albums that I'm getting. Hopefully, when Blue Oyster Cult releases their new record, I'll do a thing on that. And I do want to get 1,000 Hands, or I think it's 1,000 Hands, not 10,000. But by John Anderson, I want to get that album and review that. Probably review Elias of Sunhillow eventually. I'm sorry, there's rag falling over. I didn't want them to collapse. But that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. I'll post down in my description Nathaniel Kinsey's Spotify link so you can listen to that. I'll also post a Spotify playlist that I recently made. That's basically what I like of 60s and 70s prog psych. It's kind of spaced out more like a Spotify playlist, so it's not going to be, oh man, you're getting all one band. You're not all getting nectared all the way down. But I guess that's it for today. You guys have a great day.